So today we're going to make asparagus in the oven. So you're going to need asparagus, you're going to need a sheet pan, you're going to need salt, oil, and pepper. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wash our asparagus. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I washed my asparagus and then we're going to cut the bottoms off because the bottoms are really tough. So a cool trick is you're going to bend your asparagus in half until it breaks. It's going to break a lot off. And then you're going to take this and estimate it in half. So that would be about this much. So I'm going to cut about this much off of each of my asparagus. This is just a tip to know a baseline for where to start for cutting your asparagus off. And you really do want to do this because this part is really tough and is hard to eat. You can do more or less depending on how your family likes your asparagus. But this is just what I'm going to do because it's the easiest way to know what the tough part is. Okay, so once you have all your asparagus cut to the length you want, like this, you're going to take your olive oil and you're going to put a thin layer on a sheet pan. You want your sheet pan big enough so that your asparagus are not overlapping because they'll cook faster and get more crispy if they're not touching each other. You put your asparagus on and you can just kind of like shake the pan around to get the oil everywhere. So you can see they're close together, but they aren't on top of each other. And then you're gonna do a sprinkle of salt and pepper. You can just do as much or as little as you want. You just wanna do a fine coat of it and a tiny bit of salt. Just a good way to do salt is start your hand moving before you do it and then go across once and it should be a good amount. So then the last thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna shake this around a little bit to kind of make sure that the salt and pepper isn't all in one spot. And then we're gonna cook it. So we're gonna cook this at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes is the crispiness I like, but you can do more or less depending on how crispy you want it. So I'm gonna put them in my oven and come back in about 15 minutes. Today we are going to learn how to make easy roasted cauliflower in the oven. The first step is to wash your cauliflower. You want to wash it really well and make sure the water gets in all the spots. Then put it on a cutting board and cut in half. Next, you want to cut off all the green leaves at the bottom and any of the hard stalk where the leaves were attached. Then you're going to cut all of the cauliflower into bite-sized pieces. As you can see, my hand for size reference, it's about 2 inches big. And you're going to lightly oil a pan and place the cauliflower onto it. And then you'll put a thin layer of salt and pepper. This can be as much or as little as you want. And you can put it in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 30 minutes. After the time is up, you can check the cauliflower. The cauliflower will be golden brown when done, and a fork should be able to go through it easily. Enjoy! Today we are going to learn how to make roasted carrots in the oven. The first step is to wash and peel your carrots. Then put them on a cutting board and cut them into carrot sticks. You want them pretty thin because otherwise they will take a long time to cook. Then lightly oil a sheet pan and place the carrots onto it. Then salt and pepper the carrots as much as you would like. I did a very light amount of salt and pepper because carrots are already sweet and have a lot of flavor. Then turn on the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and put the carrots in the oven for about 20 minutes. This can be different depending on how big or small you cut your carrots. When your time is up, check the carrots by putting a fork through them. If they're soft and easy to chew, then they are ready. Enjoy! Today we are going to learn how to make sautéed zucchini. The first step is to wash the zucchini. Then put it on a cutting board and cut it in half lengthwise, and then cut it into half moons
so that all the pieces are little half moons. Then lightly oil a pan and put the zucchini in the pan. Turn on the heat to about medium-low to medium and put on the lid. You want to let it cook for about 15 minutes on medium-low or medium, while occasionally stirring so that it doesn't stick. When the zucchini is golden brown and soft, the zucchini is done. Enjoy.